Imagine facing an enemy whose face you can't read. No expressions, no fear, no hint of pain. Instead, you see a cold, metallic mask staring back at you, sometimes shaped like a god, a lion, or a creature straight out of a nightmare. That's what Roman soldiers of the auxiliary cavalry used during the Empire's peak. Helmets with full facial masks that were as terrifying as they were mysterious. At first glance, they might seem like ornate decoration, a showpiece for parades or ceremonies. But there was far more behind these gleaming faces: psychology, protection, and even cultural pride all wrapped into one. While most Roman soldiers, the legionaries, wore helmets built purely for function, designed to protect their heads while keeping vision and hearing clear, the auxiliary cavalry had far more freedom to experiment. These were soldiers recruited from across the empire, from the forests of Germania to the deserts of Syria and the hills of Gaul. Each group brought its own traditions, artistic styles, and ideas of what a soldier should look like on the battlefield. That diversity transformed their helmets into something far more than simple protection. Some were decorated with elaborate crests, intricate engravings, or embossed symbols, but the most striking were the full facial masks. These masks weren't just flashy, they were a tool for psychological warfare. To the enemy they were terrifying: expressionless faces, gods staring coldly from bronze, or fierce animals frozen in metallic rage. To their own comrades they signalled status, skill, and the elite nature of the unit. The auxiliary cavalry's helmets became a perfect blend of culture, identity, and combat efficiency, showing that in Rome, a helmet could be both a weapon and a statement. Some of the most famous facial mask helmets belonged to the elite cavalry units, like the equites singularis. These soldiers weren't just any troops. They acted as personal escorts for commanders, carried out high-risk missions, and often represented the empire in displays of skill and power. Their helmets were unlike anything worn by ordinary legionaries. Full-face masks, sometimes polished to a mirror shine, covered the soldier completely, hiding emotions and making them appear almost inhuman. But these masks weren't purely for intimidation. They blended artistry with functionality. Some depicted gods, fierce animals, or scenes from mythology, while others showcased intricate patterns from the soldier's homeland. Every curve, every etched detail, told a story of both fear and prestige. On the battlefield, a cavalryman wearing one of these masks became more than a soldier. He became a symbol, a psychological weapon meant to unsettle anyone who dared face him. The most striking feature of these helmets was, of course, the face itself. Some were completely expressionless, giving the soldier an eerie, almost robotic calm. Others were designed to terrify: snarling lions, grimacing gods, or mythological beasts frozen in bronze or iron. On the battlefield, the effect was immediate. An enemy staring down a cavalryman with a lifeless metallic face couldn't read a single emotion. No fear, no pain, no hesitation. It was as if they were facing a machine, immune to injury or suffering. That psychological edge could turn the tide of a skirmish before a sword was even drawn. But the masks weren't all for intimidation. Many included carefully designed features to improve combat performance: narrow eye slits for protection without sacrificing vision, reinforced cheek and jaw sections, and even neck guards to block strikes from behind. The artistry wasn't just for show. It made the soldier appear invincible while still keeping him alive in the chaos of battle. And yet, that wasn't the whole story. Despite their ornate appearance, these helmets were far from fragile. Beneath the polished bronze or iron mask lay a solid iron core, capable of withstanding sword strikes, spears, and even arrows. Take the famous Emesa helmet, for example. Its narrow eye slits protected the wearer's eyes while still allowing him to see clearly, and a protruding edge at the back shielded the neck from attacks from behind. The decorative outer layer might dent or scratch, but it was the inner structure that kept a soldier alive in battle. Unlike later medieval helmets, which often limited vision and hearing, Roman mask helmets offered a smart balance between protection and practicality. Soldiers could charge into combat, appearing almost supernatural without sacrificing their ability to fight effectively. And yet, historians still debate exactly how these helmets were used. For years, scholars argued that these facial mask helmets were purely ceremonial, worn during parades, cavalry tournaments, or public displays of skill. The masks were flashy, elaborate, and sometimes fragile-looking, which made some historians doubt their practicality in real combat, but evidence suggests otherwise. Certain models show clear signs of wear consistent with battle, and their design didn't obstruct vision as much as medieval great helms or bassinets did. Elite cavalrymen could fight effectively while wearing them, blending intimidation with protection. So, while some helmets might have been meant for show, it's very likely that the bravest and most skilled soldiers actually charged into war wearing these masks, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. And what's even more fascinating is the story behind the soldiers themselves. Many of the auxiliary cavalry weren't Roman by birth. They came from regions like Gaul, Syria, and Germania. Their helmets weren't just armour, they were a statement of who they were. The intricate designs often incorporated artistic elements from their homelands, blending local culture with Roman military tradition. Wearing these masks allowed soldiers to honour their roots, while proving their loyalty and skill within the Roman army. It wasn't just about fighting, it was about identity, pride, and status. On the battlefield, a cavalryman in a mask wasn't only a psychological weapon, he was a living symbol of the Empire's diversity and the power of its auxiliary forces. Every glance at the polished bronze face told a story of heritage, courage, and elite skill, making these helmets far more than mere decoration. So, next time you imagine a Roman soldier, don't just picture a helmet and armour. Picture a gleaming mask staring back at you, a carefully crafted blend of fear, artistry, and protection. These helmets weren't just showpieces or ceremonial trinkets, they were tools of war, psychological weapons, and expressions of cultural identity all at once. From terrifying enemies to honouring their homelands, the auxiliary cavalry's facial mask helmets were a unique symbol of the Roman Empire's power and diversity. Did you know Roman soldiers could wear these decorative yet deadly masks into battle? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient warfare, leave a like and subscribe for more. And if you want to see another incredible story from Roman history, check out this video right here. You won't believe what happens next.